Good morning, everybody. My name is Jody. My husband David John and I have a small farm in the panhandle of North Idaho. These are our stories and adventures. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And today we're going to be working on building a planter box for the hydrangea, digging the hole for the hydrangea, and getting it planted. So let's get the box built so we can figure out where to dig the hole. So I have the hydrangea basically where I'm going to be planting it. It's still in its big planter. I'm going to have to move it out of the way, and we'll construct the box here, and then we'll have to get this area cleaned up and get the hole dug. So last night Dave John helped me get the 45-degree cuts on the cherry tones that we're going to use to make the box out of. So I've got the two long pieces are going to be for the back, and then the two shorters are going to be for the side. The back and the front are the long ones. So we'll get screwed together kind of like that, just making a rectangle box. I actually think I'm going to construct it behind you and then set it over here, since this ground is kind of unlevel. So let me get everything moved over there and we'll be right back. So the first step, we'll be going through and pre-drilling the holes for the screws so it doesn't crack. Everything lined up. Whoops. And I'm going to do one going this way and then two going that way, just so it's nice and strong. Yeah, that's going to work great. Well, now that I've got my frame built. Gonna put it back over there so I can mark off what I need to weed out and dig up. So let's move back over there. So this is the area that I'm going to be working in. So let me grab the shovel so I can kind of mark it and we'll get it cleaned up. Actually, I'm just going to use my garden fork. Found my first rock. Second rock. So the area that I've got to clean up is marked. My father-in-law did say that when they put in the mobile home that he lives in, all the rocks from that kind of got shoved this way, so I should have plenty of rock to fill in around the hydrangea in the box. And on the back area, there's about 6 inches between the bed itself and the step going into the shed that I'm just gonna put rocks down too, just to keep the weeds from growing. So on with getting this hole dug. So going through and weeding it might have not have been uber important, since there really was just dead weeds here, because I am going to be putting landscape fabric on the box, but an ounce of prevention. And I got a pile of rocks to start with, so now I'm going to have to put the box in and the ring that I cut to put the hydrangea in to see where I need to dig the hole. But first I got to get my fork out of the way. And then I will have to, before the final is done, kind of level it off, because like in that corner the ground's a little low, so I'll just move some soil over there just to make it nice and level. But this is the part of the steel bucket I was talking about. It used to be a 55-gallon drum, and I just cut this part off to work as a water well for the hydrangea. So I'm going to basically right about there is where it's going to be. Okay, so I've got the hole dug, kind of got the ring set in place, and it should be plenty deep enough to plant the hydrangea. Just have to grab some compost to mix in down in the bottom and then get it kind of leveled off and get the hydrangea planted. That'll be the fun part. So now comes the fun part. Put the frame in and backfill around the frame and the kiesel. Yes, I love you. Yes. You're so helpful. Okay. Go find Daddy. I didn't say bark at him. So, got to get the frame put in and get everything leveled and backfilled around the pot. And then we'll get the landscape fabric down, and the fun of trying to wrestle the hydrangea carefully into spot. Let's get this frame in place. Still need some dirt over in that corner. That looks pretty good. So now I'm going to grab the landscape fabric, lay it down, get it cut around the pot and kind of stapled into place, and we'll get the hydrangea. The hardest part is going to be making sure there's enough stuff down at the bottom that I don't have any big air gaps. So it's easier when they're in a root ball, but this is in a cone-shaped pot. Sorry, brain fart. And the bottom is narrower than the top, so probably gonna add some more soil in here and just kind of give it the rough shape. Or actually, I'll take it out of the pot, stick the pot in there, and see if I can kind of get the soil put in where it needs to be. There, that should keep most of the weeds out, so let's get the hydrangea out of its pot and see if I need to add, how much more soil I have to add in there. And at least I'm lucky it does have a relatively flat side. And that actually came out way easier than I thought it was gonna. So I definitely can tell I'm gonna have to add a lot more soil in there as I get the pot stuck. So that's what I'm going to use that 5-gallon bucket of stuff for. Well, it's deep enough, but need a lot more for around the sides. So let me go see what I got. Okay, so I grabbed a couple buckets of fill potting mix. Let's see if we can get this up around the sides. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to attempt to pick up the hydrangea and put it in the pot without making too huge of a mess. But as you see, I've pushed the soil up around the sides because I know about the depth it needs to be. So hopefully I'm pretty close on everything because I don't want to lift this in and out too many times. See if I can get it to rock backwards a little. That's a little too much. Well, it's in there. Gonna have to get some more of the filler potting mix to push down around the sides, get the rocks washed off and put in, and get it watered well, but pretty right there. Once I get all the rocks in, it'll look really awesome. So I'm going to go get some more potting mix, get the rocks washed off and put in place, and I'll be back with the final on it. Okay, so I watered that for about 10 minutes and it's to the point that it's not holding any more water without wanting to overflow. So that's kind of the premise of a water well around a plant, is you can stick it however deep. Here I chose to put about 4 inches below grade and then backfilled around it, or maybe it's closer to 6 inches. But so when you water, all the water is going onto the root ball and the well is forcing the water to go straight down to where the roots are as opposed to spreading out. But once it gets down past the bottom of the water well, it will go out. So that forces the roots to go down deep and then spread out. So in a arid time, like in the heat of the summer, the roots are going to be down a lot deeper where the soil is cooler and moister, because I dug 2 feet down and the soil was just finally starting to look like it still had some moisture in it at the 2-foot mark. So the water well will help keep the roots in the heat cool and hydrated. And got I got all the rocks that they dug out of there, put around it, show you what it looks like. So there you can see some of the rocks. The rocks really aren't going to show, but it's going to look really flashy right there. Well, this is where I'm going to end today's video. I hope you have a good day and a good week, and we'll see you on the next one for getting the grapes planted. Bye for now.